So sum and difference of cubes, you can do both of those. Difference of squares you can do. Sum of squares you can't. Here's the deal, guys. I heard you say it might be this, right? I heard you say it might be that. Well, didn't we talk about up here, we could just multiply it back out and I should get to the problem? Watch what happens if I multiply this out. X squared plus 6x plus 6x plus 36. Does this go to 0? No, that's 12x, and that's not part of what's in this problem. There's no pattern of signs that I can get, because in order for this to be a positive, these both have to be a positive, or they both have to be negative, right? But if they're both negative, this ends up being minus 12x, doesn't it? Either way, it's going to have a middle term, and this one does not. That's why we can't factor this one, and we can factor this one. But you've already seen that we can't. I mean, do I need to multiply this all out for you so you can see that it goes away? I'll be happy to. You got it? Okay? So there's some things on your homework that show up that I don't want you to be frightened of. Okay? So I did this one for you, where you know you have to you factored out a whole number, right? That's not all you can have to factor out. What if it was like this? It's not going to work very well, but we'll pretend. Oh no, I want to make it work very well, so don't write that down. Let's do... I still don't want to do that. If I do... I'm having trouble making up problems today. Is that bad? I'm very tired. Let's do this. I think this one will work. Is that going to work? 125. This one will work. Except I want that to be 8, and I want that to be 5. What do these two have in common? First of all, is it the difference of squares, or is it the difference of cubes? You can look at this and tell that it's not either one. Because nothing times itself gives me 2, and nothing times itself gives me 2. Right? So it's not the difference of squares or cubes, but what do you notice about these two numbers? Hush, please. What do you notice about these two numbers? They're both divisible by 2, right? So if I divide a 2, that's great, but it gives me 125 x to the 8th minus 1 x to the 5th. Is that the difference of squares or cubes? Well, the numbers are cubes, aren't they? But what about the exponents? They're not. But what do you notice about each of these two terms? They have x. So let's take as many x's out as we possibly can.
You just go to 4.
So let's take out 5. If I take out x to the 5th, what am I left with? 125 x to the 3rd, that's exactly right. And nothing, just the 1. Is that the difference of cubes? Yes, it is. So I could go straight. I did already a lot of difference. Let's make it sum, because, you know, that's funner. So I need a binomial and a trinomial. What goes here?
5.
Close.
X.
5x. What goes here? What goes here?
1.
1. What goes here? Square the first term. 25x squared. Multiply the 2. 5x. And square the last term. 1. And how do the signs go?
Positive,
Positive,
negative, positive.
Positive. Good job. Does that make sense? Sometimes you have to factor out as much as you can to make the problem where you can even factor it to differences of squares or differences in sum of cubes. Okay? Does that make any sense? Any questions?